Welcome to the second game of the day, guys. Here in our double elimination best of one tournament, Impunity took out their first foe. I was gonna say handily, but it was actually a pretty close game. Impunity came out ahead over Focus. Now, next up on the gauntlet, we're gonna have Impunity facing off against Let Your Money Talk. That's right, LYMT over on the Hellborn side. Of course, Impunity here on the Legion. I'm Zyori. Joining me is Mr. Haiku. Haiku, how are you feeling today, good sir?
I'm feeling really good. Just can't wait to see this match go on. LYMT is actually my favorite to win this tournament. Not because I feel like they're better than all the other teams, but because they're Filipino. And basically, that's it.
There you go. Well, that's what part of this is about. Of course, the 5 teams included in this double elimination tournament are representatives of their the various regions inside of SEA, less that of Thailand, of course. Impunity representing Singapore, I do believe, and as you already mentioned, LYMT of the Philippines. So going into this match, would you say we have kind of a clear favorite, or is this one of these kind of even matchups where it's hard to say who's the favorite?
You know what? I would think it's pretty even. I mean, Impunity, although they've been more active in the international scene as of late than LYMT has. I think, is Lady Melissa playing? Well, if he is, then damn, they should have a hard time. That dude farms like a beast. Of course, LYMT, you can't sleep on them. A lot of them are former Duskbin members. Ismification, CD, Dragon, all these big names. Scourge King and Flex, they came from Zeki, so it's not a bad team as well. So I just guess you just have to watch out.
Yeah, yes, watch out. We will do indeed. Let's take a look at some of the bands here. We see Pebbles, Meraxis, Tundra, and Ophelia going to come out as the blind bands. Can't really say I'm surprised at all seeing those 4 heroes taken out. Let's go ahead and look at some of these locks. And I mentioned that last game, some of the locks being kind of interesting, kind of throwing me for a loop. And here we see a few interesting locks as well. Aluna, Plague Rider, Bubbles, Fade, and Valkyrie, the 5 locks so far. 1 more remaining that'll come out from Dragon here momentarily. The one that jumps out at me again is Fade, because she was actually in the lock pool last time. Can you shed any light on that for us?
Fade's, excuse me, he's actually a pretty popular hero here. I mean, he dominates in mid lane, at least in the C region a lot, and a lot of people use him to counter Mage Bane. So by picking Fade, you make sure the Mage Bane doesn't get mana combustion, because it deals 64 mana. It drains 64 mana at level 7, which you'd probably level up. And see, by picking a Fade and by putting your Burning Shadow stun, Mage Bane would actually be the one that has his mana drain. So absolutely, that's pretty much the logic of picking Fade, at least here in the C region. Yep.
Oh, and of course Fade brings a little bit to the table as well. You know, she's a pretty good ganker, and she's kind of annoying, and the big thing, of course, Burning Shadows. The thing that a lot of people underestimate about Burning Shadows is the raw girth of that ability. I mean, it is one chode of a spell. It has so much width to it. It makes it a kind of a more powerful line stun, way wider than that of Lava Surge. When I hear line stun, the first thing that comes to mind is Magmus. So Fade does bring a little bit to the table. We'll see. We shall see.
Yeah, and here's the other thing about Fade. He's going to be able to force the opposing team's supports to buy a crap load of sentries. And here's the thing. As a Fade, you want to have your enemy supports under-leveled. You want to have them under-farmed, and that's how you can pick them off. And it's just really a strong hero in general, so I don't really see anything wrong with locking Fade. Yeah. Although I am surprised no one locked like Silhouette, Mage Bane, or like Draconis.
Yeah, and well, we see, looking at the bans coming out right now, it's pretty much carry central. Dark Lady, Wild Soul, and Mage Bane all taken off the board. So it'll be sort of interesting to see who does make it through in the way of carries. Now Forsaken Archer going to get beat upside the head with the band stick as well. And there you go, Silhouette going to be the last. I think that is the most agility-heavy banning pool I have ever seen.
Really? That's pretty actually common here in the C region.
All right, well, there you
go.
Just
ban all the carries.
Just ban all the carries. And now we have a game of Heroes of Newerth on our hands. So Valkyrie in that lock pool actually going to be looking a little more tasty here. As
I knew they were going to pick Draconis. I was going to call it.
So, okay, shed some light on Draconis for me, because I know he's somewhat recently been adapted into tournament rules. which of course, you know, they whenever heroes come out, they're early access, and then they're just normal access, and then finally, after months and months of testing and tweaking and balancing, they become a part of our tournament play. Draconis, the newcomer on that front. How strong is Draconis right now? I mean, is he going to pick up this team on his back and just carry him up the mountain? Or
well, I would think so. I mean, okay, here's the thing: Blazing Flight, ridiculously overpowered. I'm not even gonna lie, because he gets a 40% movement speed bonus, unit walking, and all that, and he farms the jungle like a mofo, man. I mean, he stacks upon stacks of creeps. Like, have triple stack your whole forest, and especially since they're Legion, it's going to be much easier for them to do, and he's just going to put on his second skill and just run through the forest, and boom, suddenly he has 1,000 gold out of nowhere.
I believe it. I mean, Draconis is actually one of those heroes. I remember right when he was released or whatever, a lot of people were spamming me with just like, Draconis, what do you think about Draconis? Is he going to take over tournament play? And I'm just like, I don't know, maybe. I mean, we'll have to see. And of course, that was like 5 months ago because it takes that long to balance heroes. Being a little facetious. But I guess that is true. Some of those concerns that people were bringing to the table actually do come into play a little bit. Of course, the ultimate as well in team fights is really what allows Draconis to transition from that annoying carry to, goddamn, that is a scary carry.
Yeah, man. I don't know, he's just a strong hero in general. When he first came out, my thoughts were like, oh man, this dude, I have no idea. Like, yeah, 600 range, that's pretty good for a carry. But I didn't know how his other skills were going to synergize with each other. And, like, little did I know that the most popular build would suddenly be Max Blazing Flight. So...
yeah, I believe it. I mean, I actually, whenever I play Mid Wars, which mind you is a very rare occasion, I always play Draconis just because mode, huh? I like being able to fly away. So I can vouch for that build. So let's take a look at some of the other picks here. Impunity gonna round off their roster to complement that Draconis with Glacius and Torturer. LYMT going to round things off with sort of an interesting lineup as well. Andromeda, Pharaoh, and Pyromancer. So again, Pyromancer. Oh my God. Sorry, go ahead.
They're going to do it. They're going to do level 1 call. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. They have Pharaoh, Pyromancer, and Andromeda. They're going to pick up Valkyrie and then maybe Plague Rider. And then it's... or maybe... yeah. I don't know. Because when they do it, they usually have a gauntlet with them. But this lineup can actually do it. They have the option of picking up Valkyrie, and then they have Pharaoh, so I don't know. We'll see. I am rooting for that.
I hope so. You know, I don't know that I've ever casted a level 1 Kong attempt in my tenure of I honestly don't think it's ever happened. None of the teams I've ever casted have manned up enough to actually try it.
Look at Nino go. He's so excited. Oh my God.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, okay, go on.
But you know what? Legion team is looking pretty mighty right now. They got a lot of CC for them.
Yep.
And too much CC is never bad, man. I mean, they can really just focus fire about just anyone except for Pharaoh and the Hellborn team. So
yeah. I was thinking they were going to grab that Polywog Priest, and yeah, Bubbles. That's exactly what I was picturing in my mind. I can't imagine they would pass up the Bubbles.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, no Plague Rider though. I mean, what are our chances of level 1 Kong right here? I was thinking in my head if they were gonna do Kong level 1, Plague Rider would be their go-to over Polywog Priest.
Yeah, I would think so too, man. I don't know anymore. I don't know. I'm disappointed now.
I'm disappointed now. All right.
Cheer up. Yeah. You might want to go through the lineup of IMP because a lot of people are asking that if it's a new lineup. Answer to that is no. They have just gotten a name change, that's all. So don't be surprised if
I see
a switch up. Yeah. Ron is Lisa.
Oh, okay.
And Trinity is Ken. And then we have AV on Evalesca on AV. So that's the current new lineup.
Wait, so
inverted commas of us.
Who's Lady Melissa? Is that Ron now?
Yeah, it's Ron. And Ken. Ken is called Trinity now, so...
Alright, so still a really strong lineup, though.
Okay.
That's their main.
Yeah. Those damn name changes.
Yeah. It just so happens when you have that much silver coins and you're like, you know what to buy. You know what? Let's buy a name change.
Not gonna comment on that.
You got to keep things interesting, indeed. So looking at these rosters overall, though, fairly well-rounded teams. You know, I was a little bit nervous that the pushing power advantage would be way in favor of Impunity if they were able to get their hands on that Polywog Priest. So seeing Polywog here on LYMT balances things out quite nicely. I'm really excited to see Draconis, though. You know, I've never casted a real game with Draconis action, so I'm more than excited, man. I'm gonna learn a little bit this game.
Yeah, dude. He's gonna go bottom with Glacius, and Glacius is just gonna stack the forest for him, and he's gonna get fat, and that's what's gonna happen. And he's just gonna wreck late game. I mean, it's the same pattern over and over again. I mean, you see it with Magebane, you see it with Silhouette. Draconis is no different, except he probably clears forests faster, and that's the thing. And the fact that they don't have a jungle hero, that's gonna be in his favor. So he'll have all the camps to himself.
Yep, absolutely. Actually, no jungler on either side here. It was sort of interesting. Both teams were much more afraid of the carries more so than anything else. And I'm really itching to see some good Wild Soul play, though. My last taste of Southeast Asian casting was the breakdown I did on Long Lane Wild Soul, and now I'm like, just come on, man, somebody do some more Long Lane Wild Soul so I can talk about it and drop the knowledge bomb and really impress everybody. Yeah,
I mean, it used to be really popular and strong, but the fact that they nerfed the bear was a big deal. They couldn't call back the bear if it was damaged immediately, so I think that took a big hit to that strategy.
Well, yeah, that's...
don't get me wrong. It's still powerful, man.
Oh, yeah,
it's just...
I can't help but feel like that's a little bit of an overreaction. I know exactly what you're saying, but it's just like...
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, now he's just not broken. He's still good. He's just not imba stupid boo-boo. Because before, I mean, that was just...
That was insane.
It was silly. It was just silliness. It's like... Yeah. I scratch my head at some balanced things every so often, but it always pains me when you see changes that are like, you know, that change makes a lot of sense, and everyone overreacts. Oh, he's terrible at now. It's like, no, he's just not quite as stupidly strong as he used to be. Now he's appropriately strong. So let's take a look at how these lanes are going to start to unfold here in the top. We are going to see a Suicide Pharaoh. No big surprise there. Looks like he'll be going, well, I guess a close lane Pharaoh, but going to be going toe-to-toe with Bubbles. Everyone else focused around this bottom lane, though, at least for the moment, could potentially see a little bit of early Bloodlust action. I'm sure he is trying to block their spawn from being warded.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's a big deal for them since the trial lane's going to be in the long lane. Arrow's going to come out. Oh! Let's go. Yes. Oh, no, they're too scared. Stun, Torture. Nope, going to run away. Oh, that was so lame. That was so lame.
Yeah, it was looking like it was going to heat up there for a second. Really a shame that there was no follow-up. Like, I thought that was for sure going to be some initiation onto Draconis, but they didn't go for it. So, still all four down here. I'm really curious about who is going to end up mid. That's really what I want to know for both sides at this point, because both teams sort of have that mixture of lineups where they can kind of...
Polywog going to be mid.
Do however they want. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a Polywog fade here in the mid lane. So what does that leave us? An Andromeda Pyromancer Valkyrie tri-lane, going to be going up against the Torturer Draconis Glacius tri-lane. So 6 range heroes all around. This is...
Those are both really strong tri-lanes, man. Yeah. That's pretty sick. Yeah, I have to give the advantage to Legion, I guess, because they have more burst than Hellborn, but the fact that they all have 600 range, except for Andromeda, I think that's going to play in, a little factor into the matchup. I mean, he has to get a little bit more close if he was to unleash his Comet Stun, but I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see.
It's I mean, in my head right now, I can kind of reason it both ways. It's like, yeah, you know, I like that they have that sure stun with the Comet from Andromeda, but like you were saying, you know, the difference in range does give a little bit of an edge to Impunity. Of course, being in the close lane also gives them a little bit of an advantage, especially since their pull wasn't warded here. So that's really good news for our Impunity tri-lane.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Like, they don't really have any disjoints to make the Comet Stun, you know, not hit or anything like that. So
that's true as well.
You can bet if Andrew hits a comet stun on one hero, you can be rest assured that a 3-second arrow at the least will be followed up, man. So,
oh, definitely. Yeah, and that's a good point as well. I mean, the disjoint from Valkyrie does make it a little bit different because, you know, Draconis and Valkyrie are going to be kind of the go-to targets whenever possible, so that does give a slight edge in favor of LYMT. Though hopefully their money does start talking and their internet connection is pulled out here. I'm running out of tri-lane on tri-lane analysis for this game.
How about the top lane? What do you think? Pharah versus Bubbles. This is a matchup we've seen like a lot of times. Well, at least before in international play.
Yeah.
So, what do you think?
Well, see, this is one of these matchups where I feel like it really comes down to player skill in a heads-up lane like that in the long lane. Pharaoh should be able to hold his own. The first thought is always like, yeah, Bubbles will be able to harass him back, but he's gone for the Iron Buckler first, and Pharaoh should have a reasonably good time between the Tormented Soul and just last hitting. He should be able to at least go blow to blow with Bubbles, but it also kind of depends on if his pull gets warded. Unfortunately, he doesn't have anybody in the jungle to help pull the ward, but I think it'll be a fairly break-even lane in the top unless one player does something particularly silly.
Yeah, but I feel like this top lane is gonna be decided by who ganks first. Who has the balls to actually leave the lane and help out perhaps the tri lane, because Pharaoh and Bubbles, they're both the type of heroes that once they, you know, they're probably gonna be level 7 or something like that when they roam down to the bottom. As Action actually gonna pick up here. Go ahead, Ziori.
Pyromancer gonna get frozen to start it off. Draconis gonna follow up. And is Pyro actually going to fall for a first blood here? Oh, one more auto attack ought to do it. No, it's not going to happen. It's going to be Glacius who's going to go down. So LYMT going to start pulling ahead, but looks like Andromeda may have to pay the ultimate price. Going to try and micro around in the trees. Is going to be able to use that tango. Pyromancer coming back in now. I don't think they're going to have enough damage to secure it onto Act. Nope, that's not going to be enough. So, wow, it looks like Pyro is going to fall, but they do manage to secure first blood onto Glacius. Going to throw the advantage in favor of LYMT. Making Philippines proud.
That was an excellent sequence for them. Although Pyro did miss his initial stun, but still. Good job getting away. The health pot to escape the last moment. That was great.
Absolutely. You know, that Glacius just caught in a little bit of a rocky position, so that's, well, I was going to say going to give Valkyrie a little bit of an edge here to start things off, but unfortunately both of his lane buddies are going to have to head back to the well. So even though they did get that Bloodlust, you know, maybe not the best here, as Valkyrie's going to be caught in a 1v3.
He's got to be careful.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And I thought they were going to be able to man up on him for a second, but picked up that leap, and it looks like he'll be just fine. So we'll see. Still quite a bit of time stuck solo. I feel like they could capitalize on this, at least try and harass him back out of the lane. But so far, Impunity play, Aaron Act playing a little bit passive, a little more passive than I'd like to see, but well, not too many complaints. In the mid, though, Fade versus Polywog Priest. What are your thoughts? Can Fade hold his own here against the dreaded Frog?
Well, he should be able to, but I don't know, man. Again, I think it comes down to player greatness, I guess. I don't know, man. It's the kind of thing where, again, as I said with the top lane, whoever has the balls to leave first, because Fade is obviously not going to stay in his lane forever. As Action in the bottom lane, Pyromancer going to get hit with a stun. He's probably going to go down. No, here comes...
That's going to be it. Arrow going to be the one to get the last hit, but now he's going to get caught by a 0.5-second arrow. The back and forth damage continues. Valkyrie going to leap back. Wow, Draconis thinking about manning up right there, but unfortunately he's just a little bit too slow, and it's going to be another 1-for-1 exchange. Glacius, unfortunately, going to go down.
I did not know that Fire Barrage actually tracks the opponent.
What do you mean, tracks?
Okay, so here's the thing. If you didn't catch it, Valk just leaped in the last second, and he almost died because Fiery Barrage, which is Draconis' third skill, caught up to him, even in the middle of the leap animation.
Oh, I see. It's not disjointable. I see what you're saying.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Imba Draconis right there.
Ooh, middle lane. Fade got a DD rune. He's manning up. Oh, no, he's going to go back and now. Oh,
Trinity. Oh, that's so painful. He had the damage right there. I guess he was afraid that the morph was going to come out, but he had the damage. I think he could have secured a kill on the Polywog Priest for sure if he just manned up and kept auto-attacking.
Never know, dude.
Yeah, well, we'd have to run it back and pull out the ruler, but it would have been a close call for sure. Fade opting to play it a little bit more passive, so I guess you can't complain too much on that front. Of course, in the mid lane, the other thing is that RNG factor. Rune control is really a big deal. We're going to see more action unfold in the bottom lane. The Comet stun, a 2.5-second arrow to follow up, and Act's going to go down. There's the stun from Pyromancer. Are they going to have enough to take down Draconis? It does not look like it. LYMT, though, getting the better of this tri-lane for sure. Now leading 3-1 here about 4 minutes in for this best-of-1 series.
I told you, dude. Comet stun, sure 3-second stun. That's basically their game plan.
Yep.
And they saw that Black was in the middle lane, and they were like, you know what? Let's go capitalize on his presence. So Torture just melting down right there. But again, a point I wanted to make about the mid lane, it really depends on who leaves first. Although Poliwag is a great ganker, don't underestimate his pushing ability as well with the Voodoo Ward. So Fade is obviously not going to stay in the lane. He will want to help out the bottom lane, or perhaps gank the top lane when he has the chance. And once Poliwag notices his disappearance, he's just going to pop his Voodoo Wards and boom, tower done.
Yep. Absolutely. And of course now Poliwag Priest picking up that regeneration rune. He's got his boots, just now hitting level 6. Fade needs to be careful. Not only is Poliwag going to be able to pressure this tower if he so chooses, but also pressure this Fade. And with that level advantage, could be a little bit scary. Poliwag just going to keep harassing, and yeah, I guess he's knocking a man up there. Yeah, Poliwag is one of those heroes that it sort of turns into almost a completely different presence once he hits level 6. He goes from, yeah, he can harass, control the lane, to I'm about to insta-gib you. And it always is always that timing when you just want to kind of tunnel vision on the mid lane and be ready for Poliwag Priest to turn up the juice. Let's take a look at the GPM chart, though, see where everyone's farming at. Draconis leading the way for Impunity, exactly what they're hoping for with this tri-lane. Kind of,
lane.
Yep, on par with Valkyrie, and they're just going to continue on. Look at that poke damage right now. All three of them dangerously low. Valkyrie, or pardon me, actually Pyromancer almost falling here. Up in the top lane as well, Pharaoh taking a lot of damage from that Bubbles. And how are they doing, the top lane? Bubbles sitting 12-3, with Pharaoh sitting 17-14. So kind of like we were talking about, a pretty even lane. In the bottom, though, looks like things are going to go in favor of Impunity. Valkyrie going to overcommit a little bit. One more auto attack. Nope, that's going to be a mana battery to keep him alive, but going to be a 2-for-0 exchange. Glacius actually going to pick up the double tap. Valkyrie, the lone survivor. Impunity going to start to turn things around. We've got a dead even game now, all tied up 3 apiece, 6 minutes in.
I don't know what happened with Pyromancer. He just stopped walking. Weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Pyromancer is off to a little bit of a rough start here, sitting 0-2-0. Ouch. I mean, at least you know, at least Torturer, who is sort of in a similar boat, sub 100 GPM, is 0-1-3. At least he's picked up some of that assist gold. But Pyro, man, he is really starting to hurt, and I think we're going to see that show in the inventories pretty quickly.
And here's the thing, dude. When you compose a tri-lane, when picking supports, you always have to keep in mind one will be the farming support and one's going to be the gimp one. And obviously, in a lane with Andro and Pyro, you want Pyro to be the one that actually gets his items. Well, at least, you know, get his PK at least 20 minutes in, you know. But I don't know, man. It looks like it's not going to happen.
Yep. You're exactly right.
But the same thing. I'm sorry. Same thing with Impunity, though. They want the reverse to happen with Glacius and, I'm sorry, Torture, and that's actually not happening right now. So.
Yeah, well, that's true. For them, though, it's a little bit just different case of Glacius has just been there to get that one last auto attack off. So you're right, but at least Torture is not hurting that bad. I mean, Torture is 0-1-3, Glacius 3-2-0. Whereas Pyromancer just has absolutely nothing. At least Torturer has a little bit to work with, but the general gist of what you're saying is certainly right. Talking about who had the brass to leave the top lane, you were right about Pharaoh as well. He's going to come down to the bottom, and it's going to be a 4v2 at the moment. Glacius has moved to the mid lane, and this is where things can get a little bit scary. It's just going to turn to nighttime. That's going to limit the vision a little bit. There it is. Wrath of the Pharaoh going to go in. Mummy's going to catch both of them. And there's Pyromancer with the follow-up. That's going to be the end of Act, and it looks like Ron's going to be shortly after. There's the Hex. They're going to have enough to finish him off. There's the Tormented Soul, and that's going to be it. 2-for-0 exchange so far. Glacius in a little bit of trouble. The rest of the team's ported down. We've got a 5-for-5 exchange. Poliwag Ward's going to come down. Looks like Air's going to fall. They're going to fight in the Ward's. Not the best choice. Bubble's the only one left alive. He's going to shell surf back into the trees. He'll be able to survive. That's looking like a 4-for-0 exchange now. This tier 1 tower in the bottom lane destined to fall. At least I should hope so. Wow, talk about some explosion from LYMT.
Yeah, man.
Talking about.
That clash just went entirely in their favor. Not a single mistake. Good job. Good job, good job.
Yeah, beautifully executed. Even Pharaoh is. It looked like he was going to tunnel vision a little bit on that Glacius, but he was able to secure the kill. Unfortunately, they didn't pressure that tower. If they'd all turned and just taken it out, I think they may have been able to finish this tier 1. But in all honesty, generally speaking, you don't want to push that that close lane tier 1 as quickly as possible. That would open up a lot of farming room for Draconis. So perhaps that's the reason why they played a little more defensive on that tower. Forces them up a little bit, and of course will well, force Draconis into slightly more aggressive positioning. Perhaps he'll be able to capitalize yet again. We'll see where Pharaoh goes. Looks like he is going to head back up to the top lane, but beautifully done. I mean, I was a little bit nervous leaving Bubbles to free farm his own devices, but they forced him to port down as well, so he had a lot of wasted time also.
Oh, Glacius is actually going to be here in the back, and Valkyrie going to take a little bit of damage. Manages to disjoint the stun, but doesn't matter. Looks like he's going to go. No, Pharaoh! What a point in! This dude is crazy. Scourge King. Oh, man.
Yeah,
look at him.
this Pharaoh, man, he is on fire. Draconis now in big trouble. Ron's on the run. There's going to be a Tormented Soul, and that's going to be the end of him. Scourge King going to pick up the kill. Now Glacius on the run. This Glacius, man, he was going balls to the wall, playing with fire, and looks like they may be able to take him out again. There is a Hex up. Just a matter of can he catch him. Andromeda's going to be here. Yep, not even going to need the Comet. The Electric Jolt going to be enough. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's why they didn't pressure this tier 1 tower to finish it off. They could have, but they said no. We're going to give them or force them into a terrible lane position so we can set up those kills again. They're going to pick up a second round of kills on this bottom tri lane. That's going to be the end of this tier 1 tower.
Unfortunate that Pyromancer wasn't able to pick that tower up. That would have helped his farm, but still, really good sequence again from the Hellborn team. Scourge King, you're so crazy with your Pharaoh play. Oh, man. He's been playing that since yesterday. I mean, I've been scrimming with him for like 5 games straight, and he's just been playing Pharaoh. Oh, man. Crazy, dude.
Yes, as you guys can see from the text here, it looks like Twitch still isn't coding on 720p, like I said before the game. I don't know why, but after this we will tone it down for those of you that don't have the bandwidth to handle our buttery smooth 3K KPS 1080p stream. My apologies again. Twitch normally encodes automatically with all the different levels, so we'll investigate for future casts again. My apologies. The VODs will be in 1080p though, and rest assured that YouTube will not let us down in the way of transcoding. So sorry, back on track. Wow, Impunity starting to feel the pain a little bit. 5k gold, 2.5k experience. They're on the defensive.
Bye-bye, Pyromancer.
In the mid, yeah, that's going to be an easy kill onto Pyro, 4-1.
Oh, man. Flex is going to be biting himself after this.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, what's wrong with me? I'm always out of position. No.
Yeah, you can't help but feel like maybe a little bit of overkill there, but yeah. So again, to compliment them, the point that I was making, not to sound like a broken record, we do see Draconis static farming very safely here, and this is what you can do. Hold the lane next to that tier 2. Just makes it a lot more difficult for the opposing team to set up ganks. And as we see, LYMTs, they've totally abandoned that tri lane. They're going to do it to the mid lane now. They just want to take that tower advantage. All makes perfect sense. The question is, can Ron capitalize? He's sitting 0-2 and 3. They did a great job of shutting him down. Is this time of free farm going to be enough to bring it back in the mid lane, though? We're going to see some action. The ward's going to come down. That's going to be the end of Glacius. And are they going to have enough to turn it around? The Kelp field comes. Bubbles in a little bit of trouble. Pharaoh in some trouble as well. He's barely going to stay alive. That's going to be a 1-for-1 trade right there. A 2-for-1 before it's when it's all said and done. The ward's doing a nice bit of damage to the tower, but they are going to get cleaned up. And I think that's going to be the end of the exchange. Maybe a little more pressure going to befall this tower here in the mid lane, down to about half health.
Yep, I don't like this. I don't like Ron pushing his creeps up to the tower, but I guess he wants to, you know, get that lane a little bit more free, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of this. He could have just free farmed, man. And but here's the thing. By pushing this tower, he secures his own jungle. And I see a few stacks in their jungle, so that's okay for him. So by pressuring this tower, he has a little bit of freedom of going through his jungle. So I guess in that respect, I agree with it, but I don't know, man.
Yeah. I kind of feel the same way. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, Draconis got off to such a slow start. I don't know. I mean, we are seeing those triple stacks now in the jungles. This is kind of what you were talking about to start things off.
Yeah.
This is where he really starts to shine.
This is so imbalanced.
What?
Look at that. Look at that,
wow.
dude.
All right. You were not messing around, man.
Know.
I'll be honest.
Now you know.
I'll be honest. I thought you were yanking my chain a little bit, but holy Toledo. He just cleared a triple stack in like 2 seconds. That was like a 40 GPM boost right there. That's
what I'm talking about.
Wow. All right. Well, we'll see. I have confidence that it's not all hope is lost for Impunity here. I mean, look at the XP gap. Only 900. I mean, they are behind in towers here, so that's where that 5K gold's coming from. But they're on par with experience, and they have 3 people in the jungle. So I'm
smart stuff by iMpunity.
Yep.
You're gonna take away Draconis' stacks. Although what I wanted them to do is leave one creep, like leave the goat tower or something like that. So that prevents another creep spawn from popping up. Yeah. And it's a really good way to troll.
Yeah. So you're right there. It is good to see that from LYMT though. They know what's going on. They recognize that Draconis is going to be able to pick up those triple stacks and get out of control. Up in the top lane though, Valkyrie going to be in some trouble. It's going to be a 3v1 and an easy kill. Maybe a bit of overkill. Bubbles actually going to throw out the kelp field for that as well. Regardless, an easy kill there for Impunity.
It's a much needed kill.
Yes.
Much needed kill.
Very, very good. You're right. That's a good way to put it as well. Valkyrie now. It's going to be her first death of the game, actually, sitting 2, 1, and 3 at this point. Let's take a look at the GPM chart just to see where everyone stands, and kind of about what we would expect. Polywog Priest leading the way. He's now got a portal key, so that is good news. Of course, one of many additions to the Polywog Priest arsenal that turns him into, well, one of the cutest little frogs in town to one of the scariest little frogs in town. He's going to be all over the place.
Oh, you know what? I gotta commend LYMT's ward here in the ancient runes. See, look, now Draconis was thinking, yo, this is easy 500 gold for me. But that prevents his ancients from spawning, and so really good job. Really good job.
Absolutely.
You don't see these kinds of wards that often. And I don't like that placement. I don't like the sentry placement by air, because what's that gonna do is it's still gonna prevent. Okay, you know what?
Yep, absolutely. We're going to see some action unfold here. Pharaoh going to go straight in, and they're going to be able to pick up a couple of kills. Pharaoh may fall before it's all said and done. Yep, down he goes, but that may not be the end of the action. Oh, yeah, it's going to be. This Tier 1 tower is still alive, but they're going to be able to get some follow-up. A 2-for-1, and possibly a tower kill here as well. Bubbles is off to the side. He's got the kelp field. He's ready to come in and try and make something happen. Beautiful positioning from LYMT as well. They are staying spread about and not making it easy for Air to land the money ultimate. Pardon me, he's going to throw down the kelp field. Double damage on Polywog Priest, and Andromeda going to get taken out. Beautifully done by Bubbles. Is CDCSS going to fall? And yes, he is. Before he gets the ultimate off, doesn't even get a singleton auto attack off with that double damage. Pyromancer now going to blow the ultimate, not even going to be able to secure a kill either. Very sloppy play from LYMT. It was looking good, but wow. Him picking up.
You know what that's called? You know what's that called, dude? That's cockiness right there.
Yeah, pretty much.
No lie, and they had the ward advantage. They had a ward of they had a sentry ward in the middle lane, so they would know if Fade was gonna come in. And now they just decided to overextend a little. And why would you do that in a team of a lot of crowd control abilities?
Yep. They had the advantage there. I mean, I was complimenting their positioning, and it was spot on. I mean, they were separated, doing a really great job. We actually missed a kill here in a minute. Oh, God, and as soon as I tab in, 2 kills coming out here. Act and Trinity both going to fall. Torturer and Fade. And it's not over yet. There's Wrath the Pharaoh coming in. Glacius going to pay the ultimate price. So although a little bit of cockiness around that Tier 1 tower, they're going to bring it back and pick up 3 more kills in exchange for none. Of course, the Tier 1 in the mid did get denied. They're going to pressure in. There's the Voodoo wards, and it looks like this Tier 2 in the mid lane is going to fall shortly after as well. No defense coming this way. The Glyph going to be used, but I can't imagine too much else is going to come in. I mean, Bubble's going to harass with that Shell Surf, but what else is he to do? Down in the bottom lane, Ron on the Draconis is going to be able to take out that Tier 1 tower, clean up the creeps a little bit. So he's
dude's got to be careful. He doesn't have a TP.
Uh-oh, he's going to go toe-to-toe with Pharaoh. Pharaoh reasonably low on mana. Arthur, what's going to happen? He's going to get caught inside the mummy walls. This is going to actually be really bad. Scourge King doing a lot of damage. I don't think he's going to have enough to finish him off. The Tormented Soul going to come. He's going to have a couple charges left. Looks like there's support coming in from Polywog Priest. And now Pharaoh may get turned around on Blazing Flight, doing a bit too much damage. He's going to micro around. It's going to buy enough time. And yeah, now Draconis is going to pay the ultimate price. As you mentioned, no port in the inventory. He's going to fall.
Oh man, look at Pharaoh. He's stuck in between the trees and 2 creeps.
Yep, down he goes. Aaron going to pick him out. He's going to try and port out here. Valkyrie with no stun. Yeah, it's going to be an easy port for Glacius here. In the mid lane, they actually didn't manage to pressure the tower all the way down, and I believe there was a kill in the mid as we were tunnel visioned on the bottom.
Pyromancer went down.
Yeah, so fairly even exchanging across the field. Impunity with solid defense. Now 12-8 or 12-18. I don't know, man. That golden experience differential is rapidly starting to close.
But you gotta look at the distribution on the GPM tab. I mean, Flex, who's on Pyromancer, and he's been having a crap time, to say the least. He's up to 147 as opposed to his, 95 was it a while ago, or even less, man. And that's actually like on par with Air on Glacius. So they're not doing that bad in that regard. Polywog Priest still the highest farm of the game, followed by the Valkyrie. So they're still looking good, don't get me wrong, but still one mistake, man. One mistake and this game could like change entirely.
Yeah, and part of the problem is that carry advantage is going to go in favor of Impunity with Draconis. I mean, I'm pretty sure all things equal, Draconis will out-carry Valkyrie. So that's what's making me a little bit scary, a little bit nervous here, at least, as Draconis is starting to get a little bit more powerful. You know, he's made a recovery, and he's well on his way to continue with that recovery. Doesn't really feel like he's played an 0-4-6 kind of game, but that would reflect why his GPM isn't really too much higher, sitting at just about 260, 270, somewhere around there. So I guess it could be worse, certainly could be a lot better as well.
I think a tower trade is going to happen. I think they're just going to let this first tier tower go down. Yep, and they are. And they're going to go pressure the bottom lane.
Yep.
Let's see.
Exactly right.
Grab that.
If LYMT can get this tower, it'll be a nice exchange. The question is, will Impunity pose any kind of defense? And it doesn't look like it.
It's too risky.
Yep.
Torch should, yeah.
I mean,
never mind.
They do have the ward advantage here up on the plateau, so I thought they may try and take a fight, but alas not. That would have potentially been a good spot to fight just because of the ward coverage, but still, like you said, maybe
Ooh, Fade! He's gonna take down Andromeda. TP support come in. Oh my god. Oh, that PK.
Wow. Wow, that was close. I was like, how did he do that? That was a really close call. He's going to be able to port out, though. The rest of the team going to make it, and it's not going to happen. So almost a kill onto Andromeda there. But unfortunately, yeah, with that Mandromeda skin, I can barely tell the illusions from the real ones, man. They're like, the green is not very green.
You know what? I can't actually tell with a normal Andromeda. Just that hero in general. But, okay, an item I would like to comment on is the PK from Fade. I love this pickup on Fade. Like, usually you see Codex, but here's the thing. PK is on Fade with Bubbles on the same team. That's godlike, dude.
Yep.
You have a kelp field on, and then he drains all your mana at the same time, and then make sure, like you mentioned, the girth of, I hate using that word, the girth of the Burning Shadows of Fade. Man,
yeah,
that's synergy if you've ever heard of the word, man.
Oh, absolutely right. And I mean, I'm actually a fan of Portal Key on Fade as well, because you're exactly right. You see Fade and you think of that kind of one-trick pony, kind of Parasite style. She's going to burst somebody down, pop out of invisibility, and that's it. She's done after that. But with the Portal Key, she actually can play that initiation role pretty well. Instead of being forced to use the ultimate to initiate, Portal Key in, drop the Burning Shadows and Cull combo, and then she has that ultimate to work with to kind of, you know, get out or get in, what have you.
Top lane.
Yep, exactly, up in the top, Draconis.
Ooh,
maybe overcommitting a bit, up way too far.
Oh, but look, Valkyrie, wow!
Oh, no, yeah, Valkyrie going to get caught. A noble effort to try and pour it out, but it's not going to be enough. Fade going to be able to catch him with that Burning Shadows, and that's going to be a pretty easy kill. So a 1-for-1 on arguably the two most important heroes in the game at the moment, the two carries. Both of them going to fall because they're getting just, I guess, a little too overzealous there. I guess it's really the only way to coin it. Both of them up, well, too far without friendly support.
Yo, shoutouts to Air. That was excellent positioning on his Glacius, man. He waited. He knew exactly where Valk would leap to, and he immediately just casted Ice Imprisonment. So really good heads-up play. Bottom lane, though, Pyromancer. No, okay. Saw the TPU was getting on, and AV Alaska just shell surfing all at it.
Bubbles probably could have manned up a little bit there, but not knowing what port was coming in, didn't really want to play with fire, so shell surfed defensively, and well, he's going to be able to keep pressuring the lane. So
9 out of 10 for your pun. That was very good.
Yeah.
What else to comment on? Glacius actually picked up a bound eye.
Yeah, certainly a good choice here. Both teams warding very, very heavily right now. I actually see a ton of ward coverage. Impunity with both defensive plateaus covered. We see the middle lane on lockdown. Our Hellborn side making sure they have the runes on lockdown. They want to keep those access points, well, from being in the shadows, and they actually have some nice counter wards going down as well. So not surprised to see the bound die come out, and I think a very warranted choice here, especially at this timing. Torture also picking up the Astrolabe, always a powerful item. Going to open up a little bit of a timing window here to give them a little bit of a team fight edge. Still no Astro picked up for LYMT at the moment. But Pharaoh has gone straight for the barrier idol, which I really like.
That's good.
Big
really
fan
good.
Of the early barrier.
Well, you know what? Glacius just dewarded that spot near their Ancients, but I cannot stress how important it is to deny an opponent's Ancient creeps when your opponent has a Draconis in their team. It is extremely important. As you saw, like, as our little demonstration with the triple stack creeps, he will take down those Ancients like crazy, dude. So, good job. Good job picking up the bound eye.
Absolutely. No, you're exactly right. I mean, Ancients in general are an important thing to keep tabs on, and it looks like LYMT actually hasn't been too, I guess, too diligent with making sure they capitalize on everything their Ancients have to offer. But we'll hold that thought for a moment here, as it looks like there could be some initiation coming. Glacius trying to, well, stay safe and sound, but he's going to be in a little bit of trouble perhaps, so we're going to see some pauses coming out. I don't know what's going to happen. Is Glacius going to survive? No, that's going to be the Hex, and as the pause commences, Glacius destined to fall down here in the bottom lane all the while.
What a terrible time to pause. He's like, you know what? I'll be... Oh.
Yeah, Air is contemplating all of his life decisions right now. Need to say I love you to my family for one last time. Poor guy. Man. Poor guy. He almost made it out, too. It was a pretty solid effort to try and port, but the cast speed on that Hex is just a little too much. All the while, it looks like this Tier 1 in the mid lane also going to get taken out. Bubbles and Draconis going to pressure, going to do their thing, put their thing down all over this tower's face.
Oh, I see. Andromeda got disconnected. No, I mean, like, before even the pause came out, because he was actually heading back when he could have just stunned the Glacius.
Oh, right. That's what... Yeah, I was looking at it, and that... okay, yeah, it's all coming together. I sort of noticed he was right next to him and not stunning, and that explains it. He was disconnected. Right.
Yep.
So again, guys, this is just a best of one. Very important to reiterate, all best of ones in this tournament. So it is double elimination, though. That does give you a little bit of buffer. Of course, this is a winner's bracket still. Impunity did take out Focus in Game 1 of the winner's bracket to knock them down. And now they're moving on to face LYMT. I believe
Let your money talk.
Orange Esports is playing, who are they playing? Friends Forever. I don't know if they've started yet. I would assume that they have, but they're one of the early round matchups as well. So it's all on the line. These best of ones, man.
Orange finished their game.
Huh?
Oh, they did.
And it was quite a fast game. It was like a 15-minute scene.
Oh.
Orange won, and Friends Forever is in the losers bracket with Focus.
All right. Well, there you go. GM Mishki's dropping the knowledge bomb. Keeping us all on our toes.
Have to give you guys tips, you know.
Shout outs to Flex, telling it how it is. Yes.
All right, so yeah, hopefully we have him back here pretty quickly. Let's see, he suddenly popped up with Garena Updater. Shout out to Garena. Damn. Ouch.
Thank you.
Oh, damn, Mishka.
You have to take good things, you know, positively, or bad things positively, whichever.
Yeah.
That works.
So there's a shot of the updated brackets, guys, so you can see what the plan is. As far as casting, I would assume we'll be covering the winner of this against Orange. Coming up next, though, it's Mishka's call.
What?
Never mind.
What? Sorry,
I was just talking about the next game, like what we would cast next.
Oh, yeah. Okay, hang on. Let me see. It will be Orange versus the winner of this bracket.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's what I was thinking. That made the most sense to me, but what are you gonna do?
What?
So big Garena update here. Really slowing me down, man. Getting me out of the zone.
That's taking a long time.
Yeah, what is this?
It's not a competitive game if you don't have pauses. I thought we established this a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping that you guys were doing it right over here in Garena. I know in the international client that's the case. I gave you guys the benefit of the doubt, assuming that there would be no pauses because, I don't know, just like clockwork. But
yeah, whichever works. So yeah.
Well, interestingly enough, though, we've been really talking about Draconis and how scary he can be. It seems, though, that all things considered, Let Your Money Talk has been doing a really good job shutting him down. Right now, Draconis is 0-5, 25 minutes into this game.
Sitting at 290 gold per minute, man. I mean, as a Draconis, you would at least be at somewhere at 400, man.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. I mean, I think Ron is playing well. His farm is good considering how slow, considering that he's 0-5, you know. But in the grand scheme of Draconis, this is not really where you want to be 25 minutes in. Sort of.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
While we have time, shout outs to my boys, Lloyd Timmy, Seth Cohen, Rastafari.
Your boys. Oh my god, I don't know what you've been doing.
Oh, you know what? It's not like that. See, everything that pops up in Mishka's head is something like that, right?
No, that's not true.
Talking to you about your assistant, Ziori, and then, ooh, this is what happens.
Zari has to, stay out of it. Yeah, I have his secrets with me.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know what? I have my needs.
Okay, so, just a question. Do you think that a Shrunken Hit would do better on Draconis or Lincoln's? In this game, that is.
I think, I don't know. I think Lincoln's is actually a good choice, considering it'll stop Comet Stun, Andro Hex, Pyro's ulti. So those are, if anything, those are some skills that you want to stop. It's just, damn. I would have gone for DPS. It provides survivability, but he's been melting really quickly, so I don't know, man. It's just really a toss-up between that. But it does provide some mana regeneration, so that's good for him when he's spamming his ulti and his second skill.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say it's one of those things where, overall, the Shrunken Head is better, like sort of a necessary evil, but I think you kind of need the Null Stone, because if he went straight Shrunken Head, he wouldn't have the farming potential. I mean, he needs the mana regen is the big thing. Draconis is not a very mana-efficient hero, you know? So I think the stats and the regeneration are the key for why you need that Null Stone. And, wow, we are going to resume here. I wasn't quite ready. We missed the Glacius kill. Glacius did fall, though, rest assured. So, okay.
Oh, he's not getting deny mid tower.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, mid tower gonna fall. No deny coming out. The glyph actually was used, but they did not score the deny. So there you go. Tower for Glacius. Looks like well, we still have a hell of an even game here. That gap that we were talking about, I mean, it's down to 2k gold within 600 experience. I mean, we're pretty much on the money at this point. Draconis is going to continue farming up the Ancients here. He's well on his way to continue being a scary force, and actually just about... just now finishing up that Null Stone, pardon me, with another 1,000 in the bank. So we'll see what he does with that next item choice. Are you thinking he may just go straight Shrunken Head after this, or start transitioning into more of a hard carry?
Staff of the Master.
Staff of the Master?
Yeah.
So is that the go-to on carry Draconis?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Did you say CD?
No, I'm talking about Draconis. Yeah, wait, Staff of the Master.
Oh, okay. My mistake. I'm sorry. I thought you meant Polywog Priest. I know he needs DPS. Maybe Sangayasha. I'm sorry, what's it called here?
Frostburn.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I was like, did they add like a Staff of the Master effect to Draconis that I'm not privy to?
No.
Okay, good.
But speaking of Staff of the Master, CD on Polywog Priest actually finishes his.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
There we go. Okay, that's what. All right, now we're connecting. We're on the same level. Good stuff. Speaking of shrunken heads, though, Fade is now getting close to his shrunken head. He's
working.
Recipe off. That's an interesting choice.
Draconis, he has his what's this called? Mighty Blade. Yeah, Mighty Blade as well. So probably gonna go for shrunken head as well.
It's hard to say.
Again,
it's hard to say. I mean, he very well just may move into the pick up that piece first, then move into the Firebrand, and then finish the Frostburn. We've certainly seen that from time to time as well. Just going for the Mighty Blade first to get a little bit extra stats. I mean, he very well may be going for the Shrunken Head, but just a lot of different options, not necessarily indicative of one choice.
Draconis, you're gonna go down.
Oh, Draconis walking right into the danger zone, possibly a little bit of overkill coming out. They're gonna throw down the wards, and this engage is gonna continue to commence. Imp on the defensive. Wow, that is not what they wanted right here. Are they going to be able to secure something else? Now Bubbles in trouble. He does not have a Shell Surf for another few seconds. Looks like he's going to be able to get it off. There's the take cover, and Bubbles going to be able to survive. Uh-oh. Is he going to be able to survive? Not for long, though. Polywog Priest got to come in. Whoa, the portal key just as the auto attack's about to go off. Very nicely done. After all that, I mean, they do get the kill on Draconis, and that is going to buy the Legion team some time. Wow. Unfortunate that they threw the wards down. They definitely could have cleaned that up and then just moved for an easy tower kill in the mid lane. So, actually, wasn't that bad. They wasted a lot of time trying to secure that kill onto Bubbles, making it just a 1-0 with no follow-up.
I don't like dropping the voodoo wards, but whatever. It's CD. I can't question his decision. And it's probably going to be on cooldown the next minute as... Ooh, they do take down the Valkyrie. You're overextending a little bit too much, Dragon. What's up, man?
Yeah, and part of the problem right there was that lack of ward coverage. We were mentioning how Glacius is doing such a good job keeping these plateaus covered, and looks like he's going to do it again. Well, he's going to throw down a ward of Rev, and that's it. No ward of sight coming. Oh, he's going to pick one up. There we go. Well, still maybe not going to throw one up there, but that's the big problem. Draconis just had absolutely no sight, no way to really know what was going to go down right there.
And Fade does get his bounty from Glacius, but in retaliation, you see Scourge King on Pharaoh. He picks up a bounty as well.
Yep.
So there's gonna be a really sightless game, so to speak.
Sightless game. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Other item pickups here. Well, really not too much else. The big thing, well, one thing I do want to point out in lack of items is Pyromancer. You know, we mentioned from the get-go, he's going to be behind this game. He's not going to have much farm, and he's one of those supports that you want to be able to pick up that portal key nice and quickly. He's not even close, man. He's gone double Bracer, Mystic Vestments with the Mana Battery. I mean, he just went straight to survivability.
Oh, Dragon, you're going to die again. Oh. Homie, what's up, dude?
Yep. Dragon going to be way too far forward yet again. He's going to get caught by the Pain Train, a 4-on-1 engage. Very unfortunate. Again, you got to blame it on a little bit of ward coverage, I guess. I mean, they just have no sight. If you look at this from the Hellborn perspective, they've got a ward right outside the Kong pit, and that's it. The whole team's missing. They have absolutely no idea where they are. So that's
I'm so mad right now.
It's the danger.
It's like no, but dude, it's pretty obvious that they're gonna.
Yeah. No.
If you're a little bit past the river, that's not safe. They have a Fade, man. You don't have any sentries.
I agree. No, you're exactly right. I mean, on top of that, they still just have no sight. So, I mean, if anything, that complements your point even more as to Valkyrie, why are you up that far? You have no idea where they are, and you know how explosive that team can be.
And then here's the thing. They gave the kill to Draconis, and now look at him. He's shared at the highest GPM with who's this? Bubbles and Polywog. That's not good, man. That's really not good. And Draconis actually picks up an item. I did not catch what he picked up.
I did not either, but we shall see. I imagine it'll hop up on the courier here. Oh, he is going to go ahead and grab that Warhammer. So you were right, sir. It looks like it will be a Shrunken Head next for Draconis. So going for a very defensive kind of carry build here, kind of the best offense is a good defense. I think that's backwards, but that seems to be the build that he's going for. Yeah, it makes sense though. It really does. I think that's the right choice.
But you know what? At this point of the game, they can still do it because look at their lineup. It's full of burst, and Draconis actually does add to that burst. Besides being a carry that auto attacks like a mofo, so it's not that bad. Although I would have not done it, but it'll work out. That I can promise you.
Yeah, I mean, it'll make for a nice, easy transition. All he has to do is survive these team fights, pick up a little bit of that assist gold, if not a couple of kills on his own. You're going to see some nice, not counter warding, but ward hunting going on here, making good use of that bound eye. But I think that'll help Draconis a little bit, start to pick up some more momentum, and start to pick up some steam, and then he can just start moving into more of a hard carry route. What are your thoughts in the way of item choices? I mean, a Geometer's Bane, probably a fairly safe assumption for his first kind of carry item.
Yeah, safe enough, I guess. Although, I would have preferred a Shrunken Head.
Well, he's got the Shrunken Head. So what's next?
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Valkyrie, but wait, initiation going on.
Yeah, he's actually going to waste the Wrath of the Pharaoh onto a Fade Illusion here. And it looks like Pharaoh going to be in big trouble. The ward's going to come down. This fight very chaotic. It's going to be a 1-for-1 to start it off. It looks like Impunity may be coming ahead here. Draconis going to come in, not even going to need to use the Shrunken Head. He's going to be able to clean up a couple of these wards. Torturer just kind of ulting nowhere at the moment, burning all that mana. But they're going to go in. And,
oh my god!
Wow, that's going to be some explosive team fight action. 3-for-0. Valkyrie headed for the hills. He's going to be able to survive, but Impunity in great shape. Draconis actually ended up burning the Shrunken Head just at the last second there. They're going to continue on. Fake going to blink forward. That's going to be the end of Valkyrie. Sorry, Dragon. You're going to pay the ultimate price. Trinity now an ultimate warrior. Things looking a little bit scary for LYMT as Impunity starting to take over this game.
I'm so angry. I'm so angry.
Yeah, there's that creep clearing. This tower going to fall so easily. Draconis just going to stand in the face of it. And it looks like they pick up the Bound Eye, and yep, they're going to destroy one. No? Okay, never mind. No, they're going to keep both of them. Fade and Glacius now with both Bound Eyes. I saw it on the ground. I thought they destroyed it, but yep.
Yeah, I think Frostwolf would be for Draconis. Yeah, Frostwolf. I would like to believe it would be Frostwolf. I mean, it makes the most sense.
All right.
You get life, you get DPS, you get a slow on top of his Fiery Barrage and his ulti. That's really good. But
of course, yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, there's no doubt that Frostwolf is a fantastic item. The issue, more so than anything else, is just how long it takes you to get there, because it's just a ridiculously expensive item. So, yeah, I mean, you may be right. I was just thinking Geometers just because, you know, he does a lot of AoE damage. It kind of adds to that AoE damage thing, you know, helps with the pushing presence, all that stuff.
I mean, it's good. It's good, too. Geometers is good, too. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know.
Maybe the classic Frostburn first, split them in half, then pick up both.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go. Now we're connecting.
That's yeah. But here's the thing. Like, I actually don't know if Fiery Barrage and Cataclysmic Assaults. I don't think they stack with illusions. Or I might be wrong. I don't play this hero, but if they do, that's pretty overpowered.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say that again.
Draconis' Fiery Barrage and his Cataclysmic Assault, his third skill and his ult.
Yeah.
I do not know if they stack with his illusions.
I want to say that they don't. I think that would just be too insanely broken.
Yeah, see.
But you never know. The ultimate I'm not sure about. Fiery Barrage, I would say definitely not, but probably not the ultimate either. Thinking about it, it's probably just a single thing. It's not a passive.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah.
So yeah, I would doubt either of them do. I mean, the thing about Geometers as well is it does disjoint a couple of things. I don't know this if. I don't think this is one of those games where it really gets you out of much or anything for that matter, but still, powerful item.
I don't know, like. I don't know, in regards to the ulti, I know if Malakin uses his ulti and does Geometer's Bane, he doesn't revert back to... I mean, his illusions are still ranged. It used to be different. They used to still be melee. So, in regards to ulti, I really have no idea anymore.
Alright, we'll have to go into practice mode next time we have some downtime and check it out. I'm actually kind of curious as well if it does, because if it does stack, then damn, that's pretty scary. All right. Well, food for thought. Maybe someone in chat can help us out. One of the many Han experts in chat, I'm sure, has done the research, can give us some evidence, and we can make an executive call. We'll sick Mishka on it. Other item pickup here. You see Pharaoh has actually picked up his barbed armor. So always a big item pickup for Pharaoh. course, playing that initiation role. Happy to see that as well.
Oh, they're gonna go for Kong. Alright, this is an okay idea. I mean, they do have wards to spot it. Oh, Draconis actually, you know what? He defied us both. I think he's gonna go straight up for the, what's it called? MKB?
Yes, probably. Is that what's
he
on
got the
tree?
Demon Edge.
Okay, yeah, he got the Slayer, yeah, okay. So, yeah, you're probably right. Well, unless he's going for a Doombringer, which I doubt will be the case. So, yeah, I think you're right about that one. The engage going to commence, though, here, and they're going to be able to catch a decent initiation. Draconis going straight. He's going to pop the ultimate with that BKB on, and wow, he's doing some damage. Looking very, very good for Impunity here as they're starting to clean it up. Kongor dangerously low, and it looks like Impunity not only going to win this team fight, they're going to be able to turn it around and pick up Kongor on their own. Valkyrie going to leap out, totally dry. Will be able to survive for now, and that is just an illusion. They need to make that green on those illusions a little bit more bold, man. I'm having trouble telling the illusions from the real skis. But regardless, Kong does go down, a 2-for-0 exchange. I think it's just a matter of time at this point. Impunity with 9k gold, 11k experience. Yeah, I think they can kind of just A-move their way to victory here, so to speak.
I'm so mad. Because, look, all LYMT should have done as Valkyrie does get initiated on right here, and nice shell surf from Bubbles. Terrible wall. Yeah, and they're gonna die.
Yeah.
And that's probably gonna be this TR3 tower.
Yep. Barrier idol used actually saves a life right there, I think. But yeah, I mean, even if they don't win with this push, it really is kind of just a matter of time until they opt to do it. I mean, Draconis is now really close to finishing off. What's the MKB called? Now you're screwing me up with these Dota terms, man. I've been trying to channel the Han terms, and
I'm sorry, I started with Dota, so
yeah, well, me too. It took me a long time to get those Dota terms out of my vocabulary, and now look at us. Savage Mace, that's what.
Savage Mace, right?
But he's dangerously close now. He's just about 600 gold off, and that's going to be the turning point. We're going to see Draconis just annihilating people. Because if I'm not mistaken, the plus 100 procs do work with his ultimate as far as the 3 additional. Yeah, so that's just a huge tipping point item where Draconis is really going to take off. Not that he hasn't already. I mean, I think if that last team fight, he popped the BKB, and what happened? I mean, the fight just, everyone kind of just melted around him. I don't think he even really took much damage at this point. So
you know what? Bubbles even has his own BKB.
Yeah, Bubbles is in good shape. This Bubbles, man, he's been having a solid game all across the board. He's sitting 4-2-8, 320 GPM. He's been having a hell of a game, and it's starting to show. Actually, interestingly enough, too, they give the token to Bubbles. I would have thought it would end up in the inventory of Draconis, but alas, they hand it over to kind of their magic damage initiator. I guess it kind of makes sense. He makes a little bit more use of that mana.
No, here's the thing. Here's what's going to happen. Bubbles is going to port in. He doesn't care who's there. It doesn't matter. He's going to put on the silence. He's going to put on his ulti, and he's going to die. And he wouldn't care. And they would still win the team fight.
Yeah. Very well may be the case.
And if he doesn't die, then he can just PK out. He can use his tablet. He can shell surf. So it's really good. As I say, he doesn't care. Comes in, initiation. And Valkyrie might drop here. Fate is there.
Yeah.
Alright, and they're going to kill Valkyrie. Pyromancer going to try to get away.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, Pyro may survive this if he can micro into the trees. Nope, looks like they have sight of him. And Pyro going to be in big trouble here if he doesn't finish off Glacius. There is an ultimate available. He's not going to drop it. He's just going to save it. It doesn't matter. Pharaoh's going to be the only one left alive. And you hit the nail on the head right there with that Bubbles. Beautiful initiation. Couldn't have gone much better. That's going to be the Savage Mace here for Draconis. If you weren't confident that it was pretty much over already, I think that was kind of the nail in the coffin. They're going to pressure the top lane. Tier 3 tower going to fall like butter to a warm knife. The exposed racks will fall
I don't know.
After.
No, sorry for interrupting you. I just have to ask, Mishka, is this allowed? Like, backdooring Tier 3?
Backdooring Tier 3? I think so.
Alright.
Backdoor should be allowed because, hold on, let me go check the rules because I'm pretty sure it is.
I didn't know tournaments still had backdooring rules. Is that a popular thing these days? Oh, that's the Pharaoh close.
Yeah, for local tournaments here in the Philippines, that's what they do. I mean, Backdooring is legal as long as it's not the tier 3 tower.
Oh, okay. That's what makes a difference. Okay, I see. But we are going to have more initiation here regardless. Draconis going to go straight in, and oh my gosh, he's actually doing a lot of damage to himself. Did a huge amount with that barbed armor activated. Draconis going to be forced back, although CD is going to go down. And looks like, oh, his Glacier's going to fall as well. One more auto attack ought to do it. No, Valkyrie going to turn around. Probably could have secured that kill. The racks do fall, as we were just discussing kind of that backdoor controversy, whatever you want to call it, potential controversy. But wow, man, that made me a little bit nervous. Draconis just going toe-to-toe with that Thornmail. I thought he was going to kill himself for a second. He backed off with only 300 hit points, but that's the power of Scourge King on that Pharaoh. Very nicely done with barbed armor.
Everyone should just buy barbed armor, and and once you see Draconis pop his ulti, boom, everyone barbed armor, and he's gonna die.
Yeah.
Used to be a valid strategy with Zephyr back in the day. Zephyr would pop his ulti, and then you'd have 2 people with barbed armor sitting inside, and he would just melt.
Well, it's true. I mean, you actually can do that with heroes like Zephyr, where they throw down a lot of AoE damage that you can't control. You very well could do that, and against Draconis, that there is some I know it's sort of a joke, but there is some viability to that. Unfortunately, it'll be quite some while before anyone else gets a barbed armor for the Hellborn side, and at this point, they may indeed be too little, too late. They're gonna hang in there though. 1 lane down. LYMT, man, the Philippines does not breed quitters. That's for sure.
Yeah, they don't. But here's the thing, Draconis is gonna be hella hard to kill. He has a Whispering Helm, he has almost 2k life, and as I was speaking, Valkyrie is taken down yet again.
Yeah, I actually missed that. I went to blow my nose for a second, and I was just admiring the inventory of Draconis here with, yeah, that Whispering Helm now. He is tanked out of his mind. He is just hitting like a truck. He's going to pick up that double damage rune. And the pain train has arrived, full steam ahead. This mid lane Rax is in the middle of the track.
And this is where Draconis should be, man. 460 gold per minute.
Yep.
Those items. Yep.
Finally
That's
taken
exactly
off.
where Draconis should be.
Yeah, and just look how fast this tower is going to fall. The double damage. Barrier Idol going to be used for good measure. And nothing they can do. The impalement as well. Wow, that is just insane. These creeps going to get taken out in a matter of seconds. Pardon me, melee Rax taking a lot of damage. Range going to fall shortly after as well. Pharaoh going to go straight in. There's the Force Staff onto Draconis. He's going to make it out. Not going to focus down Pharaoh with the barbed armor on this time. Yeah, it's just going to wait for the cooldown. He's going to go down. Going to be a 2 for 0 exchange. Valkyrie's still dead from getting picked off of the Ancient. She's going to pop up just about now. But I think this is going to be the end. They're just going to go straight for the bottom. Yeah, that tier 3 going to fall. And that's just going to be a matter of time, I guess, until they can push the well. Fade maybe, or push the throne. You never push the well. I don't know what I'm talking about. Trinity though gonna get a little too excited. He went shopping. They held him up outside the store.
Push the well.
Took his money.
That's funny.
Poor guy. So yeah, that's gonna be it though. The GGs come out. Game number 1 of this best of 1 series gonna go in favor of Impunity. So back-to-back games where Impunity gonna do kind of the same strategy where they go for a hard carry. They start off a little bit rocky, a little bit skeptical whether they'll be able to bring it out, and then lo and behold, their carry just crosses that threshold where he gets out of control. And that's it, man. They just out-carry to win the game, and they're going to have a rough game coming up next. I believe it will be Impunity versus Orange Esports here in the 3rd round of this DreamHack qualifier.
It will be, and I don't know, it's just down to both of them again for some reason.
Just goes to show you the ancient Singaporean saying, whatever you do, Lady Melissa will still get his farm.
I mean, LYMT, man, they did a great job. They really slowed down his farm. They took out some of those triple stacks. They warded the Ancients. I mean, they did all the right things for the most part. It was unfortunate.
They did.
It was unfortunate they just couldn't hit the gas. I think their team lacked that pushing power. Okay, we shut down Draconis. Now let's capitalize with some pushing power. They never really had that opportunity, which is a little bit unfortunate. Polywog Priest just never really got great pushing opportunities. They still have 2 outer tier 2 remaining. Needs more push, I think, is the moral to this story.
Well, no, I think, well, for me, it's, you need to step on the gas when you have the chance. You're not going to get another chance like it again. I mean, they try to get Valkyrie farmed up when all you should have done is just keep the pressure on. But well, that's my moral of the story for this one.
Well, yeah, I think you're right also that it's all about the way that I would coin that, riding the tilt. You know, when you have that edge, you need to capitalize. Sure. Every time you get a kill, you need to make something happen. It's not about, hey, we just picked up a kill, well, that's awesome. It's, hey, we just got a kill, what's our next move? Can we push a tower? Can we get in a position to at least pressure a tower? Can we pick up another kill? What's the follow-up? And it seemed like that's kind of where LYMT is lacking. Not to put words in your mouth, but that seemed like the track you were going
But you know what? Good game for both teams.
Yes, that is a great way to end it. Good game for both teams. You're exactly right.
Excellent game.
Excellent. Very well played. So that is our second game of the day in the books, guys. LYMT going to fall to Impunity. Impunity going to be moving on to face Orange Esports. Thank you so much for joining us. Sit tight because we have plenty more Heroes of North action coming your way.